Oh dear. Oh, some very interesting news came out today, didn't they, boys? Oh, what a day! What a day! All I'm going to say, because I'm not going to make a big thing out of it, but all I'm going to say to all the ponies out there, put on your best hooves and you go galloping. You go and run across that field and you enjoy yourselves. Just run free. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 20 of the PSN Party Podcast, a part of the XBN network, where you can join today for just 99p. Link is actually on the page that you've got open now. All the support that comes to us helps us do more shows, more content, vote on what you want to see Ash eat topless, loads of food off his chest, and many, many more things coming in the near future. Tonight, we are here live in the exciting times. I am your host, the Marvel-snapping, Destiny-playing, force-wielding BMG. And I am joined by the $70 game-buying, novel-writing, the American Soldier, SSG Sentinel. Good evening, sir.
How's it going?
Oh, you sound a little bit bitter. Was you a bit upset with some of the news today, or?
No, surprisingly, I'm actually pretty good. I mean, I own Xbox and PlayStation both, so I'm chill. I just, I'm not as upset as a lot of people. I'll put it that way.
Oh, there's that. I'm sorry, I thought I could hear like a violin playing in the background there, some really sad music. But
not on my mic, no.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. And you're also joined by the Ghostbusting Games Reviewing OG Games Ambassador. I'm a Ghostbuster Ash. Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
How's it going, good sir? Well, you're in a good mood.
Oh yeah. Our Lord and Savior went out, fought on the battlefield, and he came out victorious.
You went to the Holy Crusade, did he?
Jim Ryan single-handedly
Jesus.
saved gamers from that evil corporation, which is Microsoft. He went out on his own, blue cape with the P on the back, flapping in the wind.
And he saved down us. His back?
With the letter P for PlayStation.
Oh, right.
On his back. And he's such a guy. If this doesn't make that what's it guy, the Pope guy, elevate him to sainthood, I just don't know what it is. He deserves a knighthood. King Charlie, Bucky Palace there needs to give him a knighthood as well. He's Jim.
I'm sure you'll give him a good reach around as a thank you.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Jim, or at least name a holiday after him. There you go.
Yeah. Or St. Jim's Day.
There you go.
We need. St. Jim's Day. He's just saved us all. Things are going to be fair, and all's well back in the gaming world. We'll just quite sit nicely on top of the old mountain there, sipping on that blue wine.
$80 game next year for you.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that's what's coming for you.
Tell you, don't worry. Jim, we love you. Thank you for everything you've done to save us. Tonight's topics include: do you want a Dead Island funeral? PlayStation showcase in May. PlayStation acquires a new studio, and much more. But before we get into all the goodness in the world of PlayStation, let's see what everyone's been playing this week so far. Ash, come to you first. Good sir, what have you been playing?
Ooh, I've been playing a lot of JRPGs this week. So stuff like Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, Octopath Traveler 2, and Live Alive. They're the main things I've been playing. And then I've been trying to finish off the sort of race pass on that Kart Rider Drift. I'm only like 2 levels off the max level now, but there's only like 7 days left, so I'm just trying to sort of blitz it just to get the last of the items I'm missing, and then I can be done with that unless they put another one out afterwards. So that's about it at the moment. I'm going to be streaming a lot more. I'm doing a lot of streaming over the next month for charity. So if anyone wants to support a great little charity, you can find the link in our description. Obviously, because I'm an ambassador for Outright Games, I am working like as part of their team to raise money for Safe in Our World, which is a mental health charity. It's really great. They're doing a whole thing for the month of May, trying to raise money. They've already raised a few £100 so far, but if you're able to donate to a great cause, check the link out in the description. Like I say, it's tough times for everyone though, so obviously I totally understand if you can't donate, you don't want to donate, but you're at least going to get a load of streams off of me, and not just Outright Games. I'm going to be streaming all sorts of stuff. I've got that new Sherlock Holmes game. I'm going to be streaming that soon. I'm looking forward to playing that, and all sorts of stuff. Probably Coffee Talk 2. I'm going to do an hour or two on stream, so should be fun, and plus loads and loads more JRPG stuff as well, and some Outright Game stuff like what have I got left that's theirs that I haven't done any content on. One of the How to Train Your Dragon games and a Hotel Transylvania scary stories thing. So yeah, something for everyone, covering all sorts of stuff, but it's all going for a great cause basically.
Oh, good. And when does that go live?
It's live now. The link is in the description of the video to take you to the sort of fundraiser page. We've got our own like separate team one that goes straight into theirs. So what you see on the total is just for us, but you can see on the right hand side all of the like the official one and stuff where it shows that we're a team member. But I've just kept it separate so I can sort of keep track of like how much we've actually raised for the cause basically. And they're also teaming up with UNICEF as well, Outright Games, and they're doing a bundle. I don't know if it's out just yet or it's coming this week, with a bundle of games, and all the money's basically going towards UNICEF as well. So if you do like Outright Games, you've got kids, maybe check it out, because like I say, all of the money by the sounds of it is going to charity, which is nice. And I've been wanting to do, since Jenna did his like God rest his soul, his 24-hour streaming session, I've been wanting to do more fundraising and charity work on the channel. May as well use a platform for good, do you know what I mean? Instead of being dirty fanboys and stuff like that, we may as well try and make the world a better place. So if by me playing a bit of games can raise some money for mental health charities and UNICEF, then by all means, I'm going to do my best.
Nice.
That's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, so check out the link in the description, and I'm assuming it's on the website as well. We've got it on there.
No, it's not yet. I will put it up on the website this week. I've not updated the website as much as I'd like over the last couple of weeks because of work's gone a bit crazy. But I will be updating the website, putting all the review videos on that haven't been like put onto the website, as well as more news and stuff like that. But I will put a banner up for this sort of fundraiser and link it all into the website as well for those who are listening on demand later through podcasting services where they can't see the link on the YouTube video.
Yeah, that's brilliant. But yeah, check that out if you're able to donate and help. Please do. It's all going to a good cause. If not, just show a bit of support, like the stream, get involved in the chat. Everything helps. But yeah, no, thank you for that, and thank you for that information.
The streams have been awesome as well these last few weeks. These last weeks, some of the streams have been like fire with people in chat. So big thank you to everyone who's been turning up for our like gaming live streams. Obviously, we don't do a lot of them on the channel, but it's something I'm trying to change, and it's always great when you guys turn up in support and chat. The chat makes the streams much more exciting and enjoyable. So
yeah, it's brilliant. Sentinel, what have you been playing this week so far?
I've actually been playing Mafia a lot. I know it was free with PlayStation Plus a while back, And the storyline is great. It's phenomenal. It's not open world like Grand Theft Auto, but it's a great it's a great crime drama, I guess, is what it technically is. Um, I've also been playing a lot of Tropico 6 on my PlayStation. I pre-ordered it back in the day when games were $60, and I've always been a Tropico fan, so I enjoy playing through it. But I did start Horizon Forbidden West. Played it for like 20 minutes, kind of got bored with it, so I went back to Mafia.
You're playing the remastered one, aren't you? The remake.
No. No, the Horizon or Horizon. What's the newest one? Forbidden West, Zero Dawn, some shit like that. The newest
the
one.
Mafia one. You're playing the remake of one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. They've done such a good job with that.
Yeah, they did a really good job. And if you remember, it originally came out in 2000 or 2001 for the PS2 and the PC, obviously.
I think, yeah.
And it was way back when the original Grand Theft Auto was hot. So Grand Theft Auto 3 was hot, and so because of that, it feels like Mafia really got overshadowed. But with this remaster, it's introduced it to a lot of new audiences, and it just shows how great of a job they did with this remaster. It's definitely great. And it's like I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The PlayStation Plus monthly offerings are so much better than Xbox Live, just because they throw all their stuff in Game Pass. But with PlayStation Plus, you have quality. You have a quality lineup almost every month, so I truly enjoy it.
Yeah,
Good.
That's definitely true.
What have I been playing? My usual bit of Marvel Snap. Again, I'm down to 2 games a day now. I'm trying to take it a bit easier, because work and stuff. I've got to balance my time. Wife and kids as well. So it's hard sometimes. Do I spend time with family or do I play Marvel Snap?
They're gonna have to check you into Marvel Snap Anonymous. I swear to God.
Yeah, they're gonna need it. Oh yeah, definitely gonna need it. I have been playing a bit of Destiny, but not as much this week because I'm trying to get through Hogwarts Legacy. I think I don't think I'm near the end, but I'm probably. I've probably got about 4 or 5 hours left, I think, to play because I'm trying to get that done, ready for Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which drops this Friday. My game's pre-installed, picked it up on PlayStation because it comes with the adaptive triggers and the haptic, so I've got it on there. Game's ready to go, and I think in the UK you can access it at 5 a.m. BST, so that's really good. So if either of you two going to be picking up Jedi Survivor or not interested?
I want to play it, but I'm waiting. I've got enough, and I'll not get round to. I didn't even finish the first one. I bought that day one, so for me right now, it's a great game. I enjoyed it. There's just so much out I want to play, so I'm not rushing to buy the second one just yet. It'll probably be out on EA Play before I get to it. So
yeah. You've definitely got to do the first one before you jump into this, otherwise you haven't really got a clue what the hell's going on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I'm just trying to get Hogwarts done, ready for it. I'm enjoying Hogwarts. It looks a beautiful game. Some of the characters just annoy the hell out of me. I did at one point. I had to take this quiz where this kid was like quizzing me on, these different things. I got every answer wrong because I didn't even know what any of them were. Asking me what before this golden Snickers thing, whatever you call it, little fly ball thing. What was it before? And I'm like, I got a freaking clue. How do I know? And then asking me these other questions about things, and it's like, no, whatever. Luckily, I didn't fail it because it was just, I think it was just meant to be in there for knowledge fun or some rubbish like that. She goes, do you want me to ask you more questions? No, I do not. Not interested. But yeah. So I'm finding it a little bit repetitive. I think I've just hit level 22, so I've started to unlock whatever these forbidden magic spells are. I've got 3 of them, 2 of them.
Oh, nice.
I think I'm about to just unlock the 3rd, but yeah, I'm getting a bit fed up with it now. It's not whole, but I want to finish it because I know I'm so much invested in it, and so towards the end of it now, it's like now I just want to get it done, but I want to rush to get it done because I know Jedi Survivor is going to take up a fair bit of time. But yeah, other than that, that's it for me. Right, let's give everyone a shout out in chat because I always do forget. So while I'm here, let's just have a look who we've got. So we got in the chat Fimber, Shadow Mall, Muppet, good evening, Stubbs. It's Timmy, good evening, sir. Masuku, good evening, great to see you. Yeah, Masuku asked me how happy am I for today between 1 and 10. I said 1,000. So, but it's all good fun. It is all in good fun. Some people take this whole thing too seriously, like they actually own these companies. It is all a laugh. It's all good fun. I'm not being serious or anything like that. It's just a laugh. That's what we're here for a bit of entertainment, a bit of a laugh, just to make people's days and evenings that little bit brighter. So I may go on and people might get annoyed with me, but just remember it is just all for fun. It's nothing serious. We like to have a laugh, and it's just funny. A few people on Twitter today have had some choice words for me because I've used the Jim Ryan laughing gif pretty much to everything and in people's DMs and things. But hell, it's all good fun, and we aren't. It's not a topic here because it's more of an Xbox thing, and whether we talk about it tomorrow or not, I don't know. But it's not something for here, so don't worry. We're not going to sit and start analysing it and pulling out our spreadsheets and
and to be honest, it has a lot of people fired up right now, and you have a lot of people saying crazy stuff, and people are just kind of, they're very aggravated about it. Some people are very happy about it, but it's just one of those things that is kind of, it's kind of negative with a lot of people right now. So we try to keep this show pretty light, and, pretty chill.
Yeah. It's all fun. That's all we're here for is fun, bit of entertainment, a bit of a laugh. But it just, it could have. I think everyone was expected to go one way today, and it went the other, and that's it. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's see what they can do with other things. There's plenty of studios out there. There's plenty of deals to be made, but we'll see. But anyway, let's move on. We'll forget all that today. Let's leave all the sour taste in a lot of people's mouths there, and let's move on. So, PlayStation Showcase could arrive in May before Summer Game Fest. This is from PlayStation Lifestyle by Nicholas Tan. The much-anticipated PlayStation Showcase could be happening in May 2023, according to insider Jeff Grubb. In a recent podcast, he can probably safely say that the showcase will appear in May, though saying before Summer Games Fest is what he'll continue to predict. That is the safest option. At the latest, Grubb expects the presentation to be no later than very, very early June. Grubb's May prediction on Giant Bomb podcast falls in line with his prior statement in February that the PlayStation Showcase would be before E3, but now E3 is dead. It's only fair that Summer Games Fest take its place in more ways than one. Since PlayStation State of Play events typically fall on a Thursday, May 25th would seem to be the most logical choice for when the PlayStation Showcase will air, as the Summer Games Fest will begin on the 8th of June. So what do we think, guys? It's been a year and a half, I think, nearly, not far off a year and a half since the actual last PlayStation Showcase. We've had State of Plays where it's like been aimed at Japanese games, or like last one was just aimed at Final Fantasy, and some were aimed at third party or VR. So I think it's time now that PlayStation starts showing what they've got, because they haven't said a great deal. There has been a few studios that have sort of said they're working on the next game. Santa Monica says they are working on their new AAA IP. I think Bench Studio have also said we are hard at work on our new AAA IP, as well as Bungie working on two new games alongside Destiny 2. So we're going to have later on, we're going to have a look at the studios, because they now own 24 studios. We're going to see what they're working on, and sort of, maybe have a bit of a play and see what possibly they could be working on. But we'll get to that later. So do we think we're going to get the showcase in May? Are you expecting to see anything new, or what would you like to see? Sentinel, come to you first, sir.
I think right now PlayStation hasn't really shown a lot of what they have. I know they're working on tons of stuff. Their studios are always working, and I just like, you got Naughty Dog, you got of course Sony Santa Monica just came out with God of War Ragnarok, so they're not really going to be we're years away from whatever they're going to produce, which is cool. It takes time. And, it's like with Naughty Dog. Years and years ago, they were working on something that was called Stray Cross. It was supposed to be a sci-fi, and it was basically kind of a different type of game. I've been following it a little bit, but they haven't really said much. They've been playing it pretty close to the chest, so I'd love to see something about that project. And you know how project names are just there so that details about the plot or whatever the game's truly about doesn't leak. So it's obviously not going to be called Stray Cross when it comes out, but that's kind of their, that's been something they've been working on for a while. Are they still working on that? Did they say, you know what, we're just going to shelve this for now and work on something related to, the factions mode for The Last of Us or whatever? That's something that we need to find out. Also, I would love to hear more about the Twisted Metal. I know they're coming up with a TV show, and as we've seen from The Last of Us television show, they want games to be of the same franchise to be released within close proximity of a television show. And we haven't had a Twisted Metal game in over a generation. We didn't have a Twisted Metal game last generation. We had the last one, I believe, during the PlayStation 3 generation. So if they were going to release a Twisted Metal game, I think it needs to be AAA, and they really need to put a lot of their advertising muscle behind it. So at a showcase, I'd love to see that. And obviously, as my avatar, I guess, I'd love to see them remaster the Infamous collection, bring back the franchise, something. It feels like such a phenomenal franchise, and I don't want to consider, I don't want it to enter my head that the Infamous franchise is done, because there's just so much potential. That's kind of what I want to see from it. Yeah. Now, will we see that? Who knows? I mean, but you think about a lot of the franchises that have a large following, that have received remasters or whatever. Infamous is one of those, like Infamous 1 and 2, that would benefit greatly from a remaster, especially since they're PlayStation 3 games and you cannot play PS3 games on a PS5 because the architecture is different, so it makes it difficult. Also, last I heard, the Festival of Blood was a PS3 standalone game in the Infamous universe, and you can't buy it anymore. So I'd love to see those 3 games in a remastered version for current generation. I'd love to see that at at an event for PlayStation this summer. That would be phenomenal.
Yeah. What do you think to the date? Do you think 25th of May, week or so before the Games Fest, is a good date? Get that news cycle in before everything kicks off.
And I mean, that would be a great time for world reveals. And then, of course, events that are happening in June, you could show more about those games. You could show gameplay trailers or cinematic trailers or whatever you wanted. But to have a world reveal, like you said, to start building that hype for the events that are in the first week of June, that would be phenomenal. And if we've seen anything from PlayStation, it's that they know how to market.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a chance as well that this could be a good time as well as while you've got, or if you do it on that day or, in May before Summer Games Fest and everything else kicks off, you could also not only have the full news cycle, but you could show the trailer for the new Twisted Metal TV show if there's a game, if the game's far enough in development to show off as well. God of War, Amazon have been working away on that. There's not really much information out on it yet, but maybe there's a tease they could have him for the God of War TV show. It's get that. What do they call it? Is it transmedia they call it, where you got it crossing over games, films, and stuff? So it's it'd be quite interesting.
Well, and they have Forspoken, which was a huge exclusive for them. Yeah, it was a third party exclusive, but it was an exclusive. They put a lot of their emphasis behind it, and to have it just almost completely fall flat on its face, definitely not a good look for PlayStation. So even though they're ahead of Xbox, they don't need to be missing any steps, and they need at least one or two exclusives that are going to land, on their feet and are going to get a lot of people excited again.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like PlayStation. The thing they've been criticised a lot for, gaming wise, not with everything that's going on business wise, is that no one really knows what's coming, and they've been quite tight-lipped about it. We've seen third-party stuff, nothing really first-party. We know Wolverine's coming in the next couple of years.
Well, we know Death Stranding 2 is coming as well.
Yeah, Death Stranding, but again, we don't know if that's just going to be PlayStation exclusive or not. I'm assuming it will be, because I do believe PlayStation own the rights to the IP, or for the first game at least. But I'm assuming the second one will probably be PlayStation PC exclusive. And we know Spider-Man 2's coming this year. If rumors are to believe from the voice actor of Venom, Todd something. I can't remember his surname. I do. The guy that played Candyman, and he's been in numerous things. I can't remember his last name.
Oh, yeah.
It's Todd. I know his first name's Todd. Who?
Tony Todd, in it.
Tony Todd. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Sort of said it's September's when the game's going to launch. So we'll keep an eye out for that, and hopefully we're going to get some more announcements, because there's got to be more than just that big game coming this year. There must be something else. So fingers crossed that the event is in May or just before Summer Games Fest. Just any time this year before the summer would be good. Ash, what do you think? Do you think May's probably a good time to actually get the PlayStation stuff out there? And what would you like to see there?
Well, it makes sense of May, June time. It doesn't take a genius to work out that that's probably when it's going to come. And I feel like if all these insiders keep flinging in the date at a wall, eventually one of them will be right, because they like to say it's coming and it's coming, it's coming, and then it finally comes like, I told you it would come in. It's like, no shit. But yeah, I think we'll see one. I think we'll see like a big showcase like they normally do. What they're going to show, I don't know really. They haven't got a lot at the end of this year, like officially announced. They've got Spider-Man 2, and that's about it. There's that high school game with like the dragons and stuff like that. That anime cartoony looking one that's coming this year, I think. But I can't think of what else they've announced off the top of my head. But I'd like to see more old stuff come back. Like I say, I'd like to see them, like the PS Plus. The classic side is lacking massively. Especially like when they had all those games on the PS3 backwards compat, like you could buy. Why are they not on the PS5 and stuff like that? So I'd like to see them book it up and make it better. You've got to think they're also getting rid of that PS Plus Classics collection as well, aren't they, in May? So maybe they could switch it out with something new. Who knows? Stellar Blade, that's a good one, Meisuko. I forgot about Stellar Blade. But yeah, I'd like to see what do you call it? Anything really. I'd love to see some older games and stuff. A lot of remakes of like their old IP, not remakes as such, but like reviving their old IP, similar to Sentinel. Infamous needs it. Killzone, I feel, could be a good game to bring back if they do it right, but it's not the biggest thing. Resistance, I'd like to see a lot. Like I did like Resistance 1 and 2 when I played them. Do you remember that car game they had on the PlayStation? And I swear there was like earthquakes and stuff in it and stuff like that.
Motorstorm.
What happened to that? Motorstorm would be a great combatant to Forza Horizon.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be a perfect sort of addition to that side.
Was it a first party game though, Motorstorm? Was it not second party?
Wasn't Motorstorm made by the same studio that eventually made Drive Club?
I think so, yeah.
Ah, okay.
I'd just like to see that come back. I'd love to see it. It wasn't the best game in the world, but it was fun, and with modern graphics and sort of power, it'd be really cool. I'll tell you what I would like to see. I'd love to see them have another shot at that fighting game. The PlayStation All Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Flawed, there's a lot of IP and a lot of new IP since then. They could all link in and make nice. So
I love that game. PlayStation All Stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I was gutted they didn't carry it on. It was,
I like that you got the PSP version. If you bought the PS3 version, that was good, and they were different.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I think I'm hoping that we're going to get some Konami announcements because obviously they did say they were having a show at E3, which is now gone. And it's hard to see, maybe where that's going to fall now, because a lot of people say, "Oh, it'll be at Summer Games Fest, and it's like, well, these shows aren't just planned on a whim, and have things, planned last minute. It's these things in the works for months because there's deals, advertising and all that stuff. So. To be honest, I think Summer Games Fest was probably already all booked up before the E3 announcement even came out. So maybe they'll hold like a live stream, or maybe they will just do dot the games in other shows, because obviously the whole Metal Gear Solid 3 remake has been literally circulating more and more and more. So there's a good chance we could get that at the showcase. I do hope it comes in May, because generally the showcase has always taken place in September. They tend to do like the back half of the year. But it'd be nice, because it's been for so long. Maybe that's why May's looking good, and then we're going to see everything PlayStation's got on offer for the next couple of years. Hopefully. Chat, what would you like to see in the PlayStation showcase? And do you think that it's going to fall in May as well? Drop your messages in and we'll read some out as we go along. Right, let's swiftly move on. Sony has acquired Firewalk Studios. It's the 20th member of the PlayStation Studios family. This comes from VGC by Jordan Midler. Sony's acquired Washington-based Firewalk Studios. The developer, which was a part of an independent game company, Probably Monsters, was already working in partnership with PlayStation on a yet unannounced multiplayer IP and will now be fully acquired by the console maker. The studio shares our passion for creating inspiring worlds grounded in exceptional gameplay, and we want to continue to invest in their mission. PlayStation Studios head Herman Hull said in their statement, "We're excited for Firewalk to bring their technical and creative expertise to PlayStation Studios to help grow our live service operations," and deliver something truly special for gamers. He added, "We're thrilled to expand upon our collaborative relationship with Firewalk Studios and formally welcome them to the team of PlayStation Studios. We've had the privilege of working with Probably Monsters and Firewalk for several years, and our team shared the same ambition to create meaningful experiences for gamers. Yeah, PlayStation again out there buying more studios under that radar. A lot of people moaning and complaining. But generally, PlayStation have always gone down the route of they do years and years upon years working with studios, organic growth, numerous game releases before they actually, acquiring actually happens. Because you kind of look back on the history, they didn't really acquire any studios, and then all of a sudden they start going on their buying spree. We had Bungie, we had Haven, we had Nixis, we had what's Returnal? I can't remember that name of that studio now. Returnal Studio, whichever they are, I can't remember. Chat, let me know. Picked them up as well, and now Firewalk Studios.
House Marquee, wasn't it? Returnal.
That's it. House Marquee. That's it. I could remember House, but I couldn't remember the rest.
Damn,
so I thought
Ash is faster than me. I feel so ashamed.
Oh. He's a true PlayStation fanatic.
I know, right?
But do we think we're going to see this continue? We know it's to help with the live service, because I believe PlayStation have 10 live service games in development. Are we going to see more? Are PlayStation going to slow down? Or now with news that's come out today, do we think that's going to make them snap up more developers before Microsoft do? Ash, what do you think?
Everyone's snapping everyone. They're going to keep buying. And rightly so. Like I say, they need just content just as much as everyone else. And AAA games are taking longer and longer, unless you're, what do you call it, the Spider-Man developer, because they must have like child slaves in the basement somewhere because they pump their games out. But normally, these big blockbuster games take a lot of time. So having these smaller studios, some of them working on like big games, some of them working on the smaller indie games, makes sense. And I feel like you're going to see this happen with a lot more. Netflix are buying people up, Amazon are buying people up, Tencent are, Microsoft are going to start again. Now the Amazon, the Activision deal sort of derailed. They'll start picking up smaller studios again. I'm 100% sure. Sony, it makes sense to, and like I say, they've been a lot of the studios Sony's been buying have been already pretty much sort of exclusive for many years to them. So while they're not gaining, say, extra games compared to like maybe other publishers and other platforms would do for buying studios, like when Stadia and Amazon and that are buying games to bring them to their platform. They're still getting something out of it, and at least it bolsters them for in the future. And what's worse that could happen? They're all going to buy them. They're going to shut them down. That's what happened. We had that big boom many years ago where loads of studios got picked up, and then a lot get culled. But as long as they keep pumping out good content and people buying it, I don't think there'll be an issue really. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. But it's a good if it's. To like say, PlayStation aren't, they're not. It's not like they're hiding it. Live service game wise, they just don't do it. They're just not good at it. They attempted it once. They've had like smaller multiplayer sides and things with live service ish, and it didn't work. It's kind of one of like their, it's like their kryptonite, if you will. They can't do it. Whereas Microsoft. You look at Grounded, you look at Sea of Thieves, absolutely thriving.
I tell you what, Grounded, they've just announced a new update for it out of nowhere. I thought they were done with Grounded. I thought it hit 1.0 and they were like, see you later, we're moving on. But no, they've announced a brand new update. I feel like that's the only way you can really survive in live service games nowadays. Like, doesn't matter what the game is, but if you keep supporting it, Sea of Thieves, Grounded, like Fortnite is one of them. When you think they pump out how many skins and they literally remake the world all the time and stuff like that. But once you've got that steady content sort of schedule, live service games tend to sort of do well. It's just if you don't have many updates, that's when they sort of die off. Do you know what I mean? It's a shame, but a lot of studios and a lot of devs aren't giving live service games the time they need to breathe to grow and everything like that. So
it's hard because it's hard to keep people invested, keep content coming. Halo multiplayer and Halo Infinite have they suffered with that. Look what that went through, and you've constantly got to have things coming. Give people a roadmap, show what they can expect, changes that are coming, but new maps, modes, like say skins, weapons, things like that. But it's very, very hard to keep an audience engaged for a long period of time. I know Halo's got better now. I hear some people sort of saying it's starting to go a bit stale now, but Forge just kind of opened the gates to come up with all sorts of wacky and crazy things. I think Toy Story rooms in there somewhere. Which
I saw some hilarious. Shire as well.
Yeah.
But then they went, you've made them, but no one can play them anymore because we're getting rid of that option. Stupid.
Yeah.
People, I feel like there's so many great live service games that could flourish and could have done well, but because of stupid decisions, management or design-wise, they've just shot themselves in the foot early. Like they're about to run a marathon, and they thought, you know what, I'm going to eat fucking 17 meals. I'm going to drink 20 bottles of vodka, and then I'm going to stab myself in the foot, and then I'm going to run it, and then they're going to complain about everyone else but themselves when they don't win. That's how it feels, honestly.
Yeah, true, very true. But yeah, it's hard to do because PlayStation. What was it, that live service game they had? Not PlayStation, sorry. Oh God, what are they called? Sorry, Square Enix, not PlayStation. Avengers. That had a single player story, which was really, really good. The single player was amazing, and to be honest, had they just released that, I think that would have done a lot better. But then they released this live service side of it.
You know what? I feel like if they wouldn't have released the live service side, Marvel's Avengers, a lot of those levels would have been built differently. That's just how it feels.
Marvel Avengers, the first handful of levels were great, where it was story driven, and then it became open world, mission based, not open world, but open area mission based, online only, and you're like, what? And then it was rubbish. So
they basically had tons of arenas, is what they had. Yeah, that's what a lot of these levels were. They were arenas where you could have multiple people playing and tackling objectives, and it's like, don't do it like that. It's like, you guys, you know what? And I've said this time and time again, that if Insomniac would have been able to make a Marvel's Avengers game, it would have been 100 times better.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's like you see the Avengers Tower in Spider-Man, and you're like, oh Jesus! It's like I think if we had magic lamps, a lot of our first wish would be that Insomniac made Marvel's Avengers instead. Because Marvel's Avengers was that much of a disappointment. From what it could have been under a different studio, and I know they were saying, oh, we're going by our vision and this and that, and it's like, okay, I get it. The heads of Square Enix are saying, you better do this or else, I mean, what it's like, Jesus, you got to take a stand and say, you know what, hey, it's them, it's not us, because then ultimately everyone thinks Crystal Dynamics is crap because of how Marvel's Avengers turned out. And it's like, they should have clarified, hey, you know what, choices in this game, it didn't come from us, they wanted it to be a live service game. That's why it's like it is. They needed to clarify rather than say, oh, we love this game so much, yay, and everyone's like, oh, well, this game sucks, so Crystal Dynamics sucks. Because they're not a crap studio. They're actually very talented. It's just Square Enix is run by a bunch of shitheads. Yeah. That's the problem.
And Crystal Dynamics don't make live service games. Look at Rocksteady. Look at the reception for Suicide Squad, which is going to be a live service game.
Oh, Jesus.
Literally... They've had to delay that till next year and figure out what the hell they're going to do with it. But
You know what? And to all those people, that say, "Oh, these big companies, they don't listen to you," and this and that, they obviously listen to somebody because that game was supposed to release this year.
Who knows? Do you know what? I'd love if they delayed it just to put more microtransactions in.
Problem is though, the amount that game was pretty much done. It was near enough ready to go, done. But obviously, clearly, it was the reception from the public that is the reason why it's delayed. But what can they change? What is there that they could change in that game that's going to make it much different in less than a year? You've only got a few months really to do stuff with it. What can they actually dramatically change? Because they can't take the whole live service element out because it's all done. It's all built. All the coding's done. There's not enough time between now and then to completely change the game, surely.
They're going to pay to have the coalition come in and fix it. I'm just playing. I know this is a PlayStation podcast. I'm just playing.
It's all good fun. It's all good fun. But what do you think Sentinel 2, the Firewalk Studios, the newly bought studio, obviously they're in the middle of developing a new live service IP. PlayStation are getting all these studios now that, Bungie being the biggest one, that's probably one, as I always say all the time, Destiny 2, best live service, FPS game on the planet. The expertise that they're picking up on these studios that specialize in it, do we think we're going to see some good stuff come out of PlayStation Studios with live service-wise? Or they're going to crash and burn?
It's hard to say because they've had games that have crashed and burned before. But I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case because they know they have to get this right. And so in order to make sure they get this right, they're going to they could have someone like Bungie assist them, They could have someone like Bungie, because remember how when Bethesda Softworks was making Fallout 4, they completely wanted to revamp the shooting mechanics. So what did they do? They had id Software come in, because id Software, they're experts at the shooting mechanics. And they came in, and Fallout 4 plays like a shooter, and everyone was like, wow, this is great. Now, how many studios does PlayStation own that could potentially contribute to this? We don't know yet, and they may not say that externally. We may not even find out until this game launches. So this game, any game, multiplayer game that they're working on, it could be horrible. It could be phenomenal. They could have dedicated people from Bungie come over and assist them, especially since Sony owns Bungie. They could say, hey, this multiplayer IP, we've laid the foundation. We just need you guys to help us, get everything fine-tuned so it can work really well. Because love it or hate it, Destiny 2 is a well-made multiplayer shooter. And it has a lot of people that play it regularly. It has consecutive traffic, if you want to call it that. So they have the studios that can assist with this. So it doesn't really matter what Firewalk has done by themselves. It matters now that they're part of the big team. They could even beef them up, more than what they brought on board. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But the potential is there.
Sorry.
The potential is there.
Yeah. I just hope that, by the sounds of things they're doing, the moves they're making, and the studios they're acquiring, they seem to be doing it right. Getting studios that specialize in live service games and mechanics and things like that. And that's the right way to go. How they do it, what we get put out, and what it's going to be based on, and that's yet to be seen. But when you get the likes of Crystal Dynamics, they make, these single player action adventure games, the Tomb Raider series, and then you make them do a live service, which they have no business really doing or know how to do it, and expecting to learn it and make something, and we get the disaster we had. And then you get Rocksteady make single player big games. Look at the Arkham series, probably one of the, I don't know if many will disagree with me, but it's probably one of the best game series ever made.
Yeah, it is.
It's the Arkham series. It's
Yeah.
you'll find it very hard to top them as a studio with what they've done with Arkham.
Yeah, but as we've seen throughout the past 25 years, the video game industry is very fickle, and it's very, it can change at the drop of a hat. You look at 2013 with the Xbox, how quickly they screwed everything up. Don Matrick went up there on stage, and he completely destroyed the unstoppable momentum of the Xbox 360 with one afternoon of dropping the ball repeatedly. It took one afternoon to almost completely destroy a series, an Xbox, the entire system that was unstoppable. So it's not unfathomable that one poor decision could take a studio like Rocksteady and completely destroy everything they've done before. It's possible. It's entirely possible. That's why, and I say this time and time again, some people will say, oh, don't listen to the fans or this or that. Those people don't know what they're talking about, because it's like if you're not listening to your fans, if you're not listening to the people that are buying your product and you're just giving them whatever, they're going to walk away. Eventually they will walk away. But if you give them what they want and you listen to their feedback, they will stick by you. They'll keep buying your products. And if you have a product that's okay but not as good, they're still going to continue to support your company because you show that you're listening to them. I feel that's the ultimate reason why Rocksteady pulled this. Because they don't want to take everything, all this momentum they built up from the past, and just completely throw it away. They want to keep, enjoying the success, and the only way you can do that is listen to the feedback and make as many changes as you can to a game like Suicide Squad that pissed off so many people.
Yeah. It's all going to be wait and see, but there are numerous studios that just make these single-player games, and they failed. BioWare with Anthem. I enjoyed Anthem, I really did, but the content wasn't there.
Anthem is a conversation that we could dedicate an entire podcast to. Because even before Anthem came out, one of the executives saw, a concept video and said, hey, let's run that and say that's the game. And then the BioWare developers were like, hey, what's that game up there? And they said, oh, that's Anthem. And they said, but we haven't even built it yet. So that game was almost doomed to fail from the start. But,
well, you remember the infamous E3 where they showed off when they first revealed it, and they showed how amazing everything was, and how full of life everything was, and then we got the game and you saw the odd ugly rabbit jump past, and that was it.
Yeah, and that's why you should keep executives away from the development studios. You just shouldn't let them anywhere near it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not one to defend Jim Ryan, but in his defense, he doesn't go anywhere near those studios. He leaves them alone. He lets them work.
Yeah. Well, Herman Holst, he's the guy.
Yep.
He deals with the PlayStation studios. He greenlights the games. They pitch it to him. He greenlights them, and then they go off and do their thing, which they've proved time and time again that works. And you've got Shuei Yoshida. He's now on the indie side. He deals with all third-party indie studios. Helps
he was the one
get the games onto the services.
He was the one that didn't like God of War, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah,
but you know what?
Like
he came in, he saw it, he was terrified, or he was horrified. That's the proper word. He was horrified at what he saw.
Yeah.
But he trusted in the studio, and he turned around and he left, and he let them do their thing, and it turned out to be spectacular. With Electronic Arts, it's not that way. You got too many executives down there trying to sort through stuff and tell people how to make their games and stuff, and that's why they fail, and that's why a lot of these PlayStation studios succeed. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds. I don't think PlayStation had done acquiring. It seems that's the in thing at the moment: acquire and condense the industry as much as possible. But we'll see what the future holds. Just before we move on to the next story, I just want to obviously everyone in chat, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate the support. It means a lot to us that you show up to our shows on a weekly basis. And it's awesome to see the fight that's going on in chat. And also, big thank you to all our members, to the XBN network, which you can join today for only 99p. The button is just below the chat box there. All the support that you give helps us do what we do, helps us create more content for you guys, and you can also help us, what you want to see and new content we can bring and stuff we can improve. Constant members only videos that Ash does each and every week. I think this week was last weekend was an exception because Ash was very busy, but usually every content's on there. And if you have just joined or going to join, there's plenty of content up to keep you going till to next week anyway. So, but thank you very much to all our members and all our subscribers as well. We really, really do appreciate it. Right, let's swiftly move on. Bit of bad news in the PlayStation side this time, just to balance that karma out just a little bit. PlayStation has significantly increased Steam game prices in some countries. This comes from Tom Ivan at VGC. Sony Interactive Entertainment has significantly increased its game prices on Steam in some countries, as first spotted by Reset Error user Chairman Chuck. Nice name. The prices of Chairman Chuck. You can definitely trust everything he says. The prices of Sackboy, A Big Adventure, and Returnal have been increased this week in countries including Argentina, Canada, Chile, China, Colombia, Japan, and South Korea. VGC has verified these price rises using Steam DB and found that other PlayStation titles, including God of War, Spider-Man Remastered, have received similar price increases. The price increases vary by country and title. In Canada, the price of all 4 games have been up by $10 Canadian, representing a 14.5% to 17% increases based on their starting price. In Sony's home country of Japan, the prices of games have risen by approximately 29 and 32.5%. Argentina appears to be by far the most heavily affected by the price increases. God of War's price has been more than double this week, from 4,199 pesos to 8,499 pesos. The cost of Spider-Man Remastered has also doubled, while the prices of Sackboy and Returnal have risen by 67%. Well, PC gaming for you. PlayStation. Get a PlayStation. Play the games.
Up your price on your PS5 later on as well. Ooh.
Greatness lies on that beautiful, slender tower with that amazing DualSense controller. This is why you shouldn't get it on PC. PC's there for your Excel spreadsheets, your calculator, your Minesweeper, your Word documents. But in all seriousness, though, that's a hefty price increase on them. Probably some of the most popular titles that are currently out on PC, because we know there are only a limited number.
Is it because, though, people have been buying them from key selling websites at massive discounts, though? Like, we all know, we've all took a trip to Argentina to get Xbox codes every now and again. You can check out Aniba, and you can use the affiliate link in the description below if you want to help support the channel. But is that a reason they're now upping all the prices to sort of combat the handful of people that are getting around the costs with a VPN? So,
yeah, but it's such a huge increase, especially inflation around the world at the moment, the crisis that everyone's in, money's tight, and to chuck the prices up that high is is just unbelievable. I don't agree with it. I do understand,
it's all
things
our fault.
cost more. Price has to go up.
Do you know what? If people were using our affiliate link to the point that it was causing Sony to raise the prices, I would be a very happy bunny. Thank you very much, Meisuko. Thank you. But yeah, little things like little savings here and there. Yes, it's kind of a grey area, but also we're all getting absolutely shafted by our governments. Everything they literally are bending us over backwards to take money off us and stuff like that, and charge us more for everything. So yeah, people are starting to look at other ways around it and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's harsh. It sucks for devs and stuff like that, but like it's hard to live. Like we all want nice, fun little things in our lives. We all want to play games and stuff, but it's becoming a hardship now to afford some of these things. I used to get loads of games. I've had to cut back. Everything's more expensive. So if you can go online and buy a game for cheap, why wouldn't you? It sucks.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
me buying a game off an eBay, the only person it's probably hurting is Jim Ryan's blooming bonus at end of the year. Do you know what I mean? His big, hefty, multi-million-pound bonus. That's I'm sorry, you big multi-millionaire, that I can't afford to buy a game full price because fucking my government wants to bend me over and shaft me. And then when a company offers Game Pass, they're like, no, you can't do that. No, we're not allowing that. We are not allowing subscription services in our country. No. I'm honestly surprised. I don't even think the British government know what cloud gaming is. I think they actually think it's something to do with weather. It would not surprise me. They are so stupid. But
yeah,
it's a great situation. Like Finba says, it's complicated, but I get why people are doing it. Some people take the mess, but others cannot afford it. And the point of these pricing was so people in those countries where they make a lot less money compared to like our country, America, they have a much lower sort of conversion rate and stuff like that. It was so they could still buy games, but obviously because other countries like ourselves and stuff are suffering, we're now using those loopholes at the same time, and big, massive, conglomerate, multi-billion-dollar companies are like, about 5 people have used an eBay code today. Better up those prices 200%. Fuck those Argentinians. Do you know what I mean? That's what it comes across as.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Jim
but while we're talking about an eBay,
he's like, shit, someone saying £5 on Spider-Man on PC. That's what it's like.
Put them bad boys up. Yeah, picks up the red phone, speaks to Mark Cerny, who speaks to his mate, who speaks to marketing. Get them prices up.
Why do I feel like Mark Cerny is in like some like evil lair somewhere, looking like Gollum?
He's building us that PS6, baby.
He's already working on the PS7.
Made out of child flesh.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. You just said it before me.
Oh my
you know what,
God.
right? He's a talented dude, right? He makes good soft. He used to be a game designer. I'm sure he's worked on some big franchises as well. And then he went on to like
the biggest game franchise ever.
That's it, exactly. He's brought us classics like that, but like he's a talented dude. But man, is he creepy looking? Like if you had to, out of all of the like people that you've seen that deal with like the consoles and stuff like, if you lined them all up, like from all these companies, Microsoft, Nintendo thing, and you went, which one of them is a bit dodgy and police should probably investigate and look at his computer history, you'd point him out. And it's horrible to say, but he just comes across like he sits there and he's like, do you know what I mean? He's one of those guys. And I'm not saying he is, because he probably isn't at all. But he's just got a bit of a creepy looking face, bless him. And it's not his fault. It's what his mum gave him or his dad. Do you know what I mean? So...
He's like that guy from the X-Files episode. They had like $400 billion, and he's like building the computer that's killing people and shit. Yeah, that's Mark Cerny. Yep.
to get his own back. You know what? He could be. Do you know what he reminds me of? He's like in the first Men in Black film. He's like that tall, weird-looking one that had a little alien inside of him, and he was obviously looking after the other little alien dude. The prince. He looks a bit weird because really he's either a robot or he's an alien. That was explained why he's good at his job and he's good at making all his machines and stuff, because he is one of them. Start Matrix, boys. That's it. He came out of Mark Cerny.
Jesus Christ. Sentinel, what about you? What do you think about these price hikes? And do you agree with Ash? It's all these saving a couple of pound on these sites that have caused it, or do you think it's something else?
I think across the board everything's going up, and a lot of these companies are just trying to increase prices to cover costs that are coming with everything. I mean, energy and fuel, and I mean, everything's going up right now. You know what? I think we're in the most expensive time ever in the history of mankind, and I think a lot of these companies are just looking for any way they can kind of bridge the gap with how much money they might be losing for certain new projects. But fuck, man, it's hard to say with gaming though, because like gaming has gotten so much more expensive to fund than it used to be. But then again, you have these companies that want to make more profit than ever before, and most of that goes in like the executives' pockets. You still have some of these developers that are barely making enough to live where they have to live to work for these studios, and you got guys like Bobby Kotick making $65 million a year. It's ridiculous. So it's one of those things, like Thimber would say, it's complicated. It's hard, and it's like there's so many different aspects of this you'd really have to look at to figure out what they initially had in mind when they came up with these price increases, how they justify it, and it's almost like an economic battle between shareholders and the customers. Because the shareholders want more money out of the customers' pockets. The customers want to spend less, so they want sales. And I mean, if you're with people struggling so much financially, you're going to have a lot more people refusing to pay full price and instead waiting on sales. That's just how it is. They can't afford to do it. 4 years ago, I could get a full price game every single month, no issue. Now I'm lucky if I can get 2 or 3 in a year, just because of how much prices of everything else have gone up. And like Ash said, I mean, for us in like the United States or the United Kingdom, it's not as bad as it is for a lot of these other countries. They're harder hit than we are.
Yeah.
It sucks to see this, but I mean, it's all over the place that these huge decreases in the amount of money that people have to work with. Disposable income is the word I'm looking for. We've suffered a lot of loss as far as disposable income, and it makes even small increases hurt that much more. Hurt that much more, I guess, is the term I'm looking for.
I'd love to know though, like, if there's actually science behind this, because like they're going to put these prices up. Yeah, they're going to get more for a sale, but they're going to lose a ton of sales. It's weird. It's like that argument about piracy, that everything that's pirated is a lost sale, when 95% of the people that pirate and download stuff illegally and stuff wouldn't be buying it anyway. They just wouldn't watch it. They wouldn't buy it. They wouldn't use it. They just can. So classing it as a lost sale, you're still actually getting money, which is baffling. Do you know what I mean? Someone's had to pay it. Yeah, you're not getting as much as full price, but you're still getting money. Do you know what I mean? It baffles me. This is literally will push more people to piracy in those countries and stuff. It's silly. It's silly. I hate the whole piracy argument and stuff like that, but it's just maddening.
Just out of curiosity, Sentinel, so like here in the UK, obviously we game prices went up to here £69.99, but
Yeah.
that for us includes taxes as well. So when games have gone up to, say, let's just pick a PlayStation for example, a game's $70. Does that include tax, or do you then have to add tax on top of it? Because I know America works a bit differently, don't they?
Yeah, the way the taxes work here is ridiculous because during the PS3 and Xbox 360 generation, I don't believe there was tax on any of the digital games. Now there are because the lawmakers said, oh, they're selling products online, so we should tax that. So, which is complete crap, But the taxes here, they change from state to state, which is ridiculous. So, like I live in Wisconsin, the taxes are different here than they are in Chicago. They're, and that's like 90 minutes south of me. So it's like they're more there than they are here. And every state has their own state taxes. Basically every government body here that can tax a product, even if it's digital, wants to tax it. It's completely ridiculous.
But so if you were where you are now, like games $70. Does that include the tax included it, or have you got then add tax on top of that?
You got to add tax on top of it.
So what is a normal game for you then? Like a brand new $70 game?
Oh, like $75 probably, because it's like I think
that's cheap.
It's not bad.
$69.99 is $87.25 equivalent. That's what we pay for a new release over here, $87.
Yeah. And again, I mean, it's like if I drive 90 minutes to the south, that $75 probably becomes $78 or $79 or maybe $80. Yeah. It's more expensive just because it's a different state and they tax differently. So.
Okay. That's interesting to know. Because like we include, when you see a price, that includes VAT, what we have here, and tax. That's all included in the price you see. The price you see is the price you pay, not that's the price, but then add tax on top once you go to purchase. So it's crazy.
It's only really sort of like wholesalers where the tax price is added at the end, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So what would console? Because PlayStation was that $449.99 for the PlayStation 5?
I think I bought it for $500, so it was like $550. But it's like I also got like Best Buy over here is our huge thing. I'm pretty sure I bought it through Best Buy with like the 2-year replacement plan. So if anything goes wrong, they have their people. If they can't fix it in-house, they send it away to get fixed. I always buy that with a lot of these big purchases, so that kind of adds to the price. But it's usually, rule of thumb is it's usually 10%. So if it's if it's a $500 console, you're going to pay $550. That's including taxes.
Right. I'll just read this out from Finber. This is this is really interesting. Talking from Finber, talking taxes, recently Microsoft was giving away Game Pass for Life, but to receive it, the person would have to pay the taxes for it, even if it's a prize, and he would have had to pay up to $7,000 in tax.
Yeah. That's America for you. They tax prizes. Like, Joe, we get the lottery. If we win the national lottery or the Euro Millions, we keep it all, and it's tax-free when you get it. They literally get taxed as soon as they get it. As such, there was like a massive lottery in America. I'm sure it was like $1 billion. I swear to God, it was $1 billion.
Yeah, it was like $1.4 billion, and the guy ended up getting $380 million after taxes and the lump sum reduction. Yeah. So what they basically do is they'll tax before they reduce it to the lump sum reduction because it's coming out of the state's money. So they're like, hey, we can either pay you over 20 years or we can give you a lump sum reduction because it's hard for them to pull that money out, rather than pay you over 20 years. So they take a hell of a lot of money whenever you win the lottery or anything like that. Games, and it's like game shows are the same. Game shows in America are the same. So you see someone who goes on like The Price is Right and they win a car, they have to pay taxes on that car.
Fucking hell, balls! I would have done shit back in day if they had to pay taxes on those speedboats.
So all those people that are saying American politics is a dumpster fire, that's being generous.
That's mad. I couldn't imagine it. It's
it's pretty crazy.
Oh my God. That is definitely an eye opener today. That's for sure. But if you are looking for, another way that you could support us, if not able to join as a member. Or anything that way. If you do buy your games online from like Aniba, CD Keys, we have affiliate links which you can find in the description and on the website.
Yeah, if you go on the website, we've got them for Aniba, Fanatical, the ones that do the bundles.
Yeah.
So you can get the bundles on there as well. Looking at it right now, though, the Fanatical link doesn't seem to be working right now. I will get that sorted. I'll look at that now, actually. Why is it not working?
but yeah, so if you sorry, go on, mate.
No, it should work. I'll get it sorted. But yeah, it's not just Aniba. We've got them. We've got some others as well. I've just got to get them sorted and get them put on the website. It's a lot of work to keep the website up and running, the YouTube up and running, doing all the content we do. I have a full-time job as well, so I apologize. Not always the most up to date. But hey.
The full-time job being playing video games for 16 hours out of the day, yes.
I wish I could. I don't get to play unless it's a weekend. I don't go on the telly or out to play until my kids are in bed. So probably from like 8 o'clock onwards, 8 p.m. at night is the only time I get to play.
Right.
I might play a little, like today I was playing Minecraft with my son for a little bit, but it's only when they're playing. I don't. But I tend to not play till evening, and then it's like I only get a few hours because then it's got to be up for work the next day and the next day. And
being an adult there,
it's horrible being an adult, isn't
it? See, that's why you. Whenever your kids get to be teenagers, then you have more time. See, there you go.
I get them to do content, and I don't have to.
Right?
That's
exactly.
It. Get the minions working. But yeah, if you do buy, if you do get online your Xbox, your PlayStation, your PC games, and you use our affiliate link, it gives us a little bit of a kickback, which also helps support the things we do. So yeah, make sure you check that out. Ash will get the things sorted, but yeah, check out the website, and it all helps. Right, let's move on again. This is a bit of a weird one. I'd seen this news article pop up, and I thought, something would just be fun to talk about. A UK insurance company is offering an £8,000 Dead Island 2 themed wake. This comes from Jordan Midler over at VGC. It made me giggle when I seen it, so I thought, hell, sod it, let's have it. And a day like today, probably a bit of a chuckle would
Who doesn't want it?
Oh yes. A UK insurance company has partnered with PlayOn to offer a Dead Island 2 themed life insurance policy option for £8,000 on top of an existing life insurance policy with the company. Dead Happy says it will send your mates to the real LA for a zombie cocktail fuel party before it all goes to hell. It will cover the holder's funeral expenses and promises to deliver the wake to end all wakes in your honour. The experience, or death wish as the company calls it, is one of several funeral experiences offered by Dead Happy. Other options include having your ashes sent to the edge of space or having a bronze statue made in your honour.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. I would. Oh, yeah. Yours would be like, you'd have like a hobbit made of you. It'd be like your head on a hobbit's body. I could imagine. with that Gandor lifting his dress up so you're interfering with his old man.
I like how pretend he doesn't know, but really he's a proper big fan. He's always on it. Always on it about
it. Dead Happy points out that Dead Island 2 Death Wish is a non-legally binding option on life insurance policies, as it can't force any surviving loved ones to travel to LA. Almost a decade after it was first announced, Dead Island 2 was released today. Well, this was Friday. The PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC via the Epic Games Store. So, are any of you fancy investing in a Dead Island style wake, or It's something you'd even consider doing. Well,
I
Ash,
never
we already
knew I
know your
needed it.
option. You're going to be a statue. You never knew you needed it until it was there. Sentinel, would you like that, a Dead Island type wake? You know, all your loved ones crying there all over your coffin, and all of a sudden some brain feeding zombies come climbing over, attacking everyone. Is that how you'd like to go out this world?
I don't think that would be a good idea because someone's probably going to open up on the actors with like a shotgun or something. They're going to have it under the bar or whatever it is. They're going to think it's real zombies, especially with the way 2023 is going. So,
You don't have to do much in America to open fire on people. You just sort of like you cough and then the fucking AR-15 unleashes a fucking full clip on you.
Well, I mean, they said it's in California. I mean, shit, if it's in LA, you go block by block and, you just dodge the gunfire as you go.
Oh my God.
There's a reason why it's not like, Escape from Cincinnati or something, why it's Escape from LA, because, that's like in real life pretty much.
Oh, Jesus.
So zombies running around would not be a good idea. Because, aside from, gang members and everybody else in LA is going to have guns. So the zombie's going to have to struggle more to stay alive, even if he can take some hits. So maybe not a good idea to put that in LA. They need to put it like in San Diego or something that's a little safer, But
I love these marketing ploys. They're just stupid. Do you remember they had that Resident Evil one in the UK? And they put like chopped up body parts all over London.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And people were obviously reporting them to police. They found like a severed hand and stuff like that.
Because they were made from meat, weren't they? They were actually made from meat.
Stuff. They were like realistic.
Oh, Jesus. Not a good idea. It's someone sitting in an office all day that might play video games on the weekend that's like, hey, this is a good idea, but they never live in the real world, So it's kind of like, oh, my God, what are you thinking?
It's amazing. This is terrible.
Definitely not something I would do.
I can't.
Well, and then the whole statue thing. I'm like the statue thing. Who would want a statue of themselves? That's kind of.
I would have one on my tomb. Like I want like that. I want the Nicolas Cage like little pyramid he bought himself, but at the door of it could be like a giant statue of myself.
Well, because then it's like you buy this huge statue and that's your thing, but then you don't leave your you don't leave your kids or grandkids anything. They're gonna tear the statue down because they're gonna be pissed,
That's got to earn the way in life. They can buy games off an eBay, they'll be fine.
Oh my God!
I'd want the bronze statue, but I want it to be part of a water fountain, so it was just coming out my penis, and it was just. Pissing all day long.
Oh my God!
they would have to make me penis smaller though, because otherwise it'd just be in the water anyway, and it'd be pointless. So they would have to edit it slightly. I think.
Or just make the statue huge.
Smaller than 1 inch, mate. It's just
right.
Yeah, this statue is like 10 centimeters tall, and it's just a little tiny thing that sits on your mantelpiece.
Oh,
well, what was I can't remember the name of the game, but they were offering one person would win an island. I can't remember the game.
Remember that. I know what game you mean.
Oh yeah, you won an island, but in the the terms and conditions, they sort of said, we can't guarantee, you'll have an island. We can't guarantee how big it is. We can't guarantee that you would ever able to actually access this island, or we can't guarantee it's safe and all this stuff. And it's like, I don't think that actually ever ended up happening. I think they just ended up giving a cash prize instead, but obviously not to the equivalent of the price of an island.
Depends how big the island is.
That was
only like a metre square. It's not an island. It's not a lot of money. Oh man, I love them. Do you remember that Pepsi did one about giving a jet plane away in America? If you collected enough Pepsi and someone actually did it, you worked out it was cheaper to buy all these things than buy a jet plane. And there's a documentary, it might be on Netflix or something like that, about this guy who, like, I think he took him to court in the end for his jet plane because they didn't have a jet plane to give away. It was like a joke prize that they didn't think anyone was going to buy like 100,000 cans of Pepsi, and this guy did.
Oh,
He's like, "Where's my jet plane, please?"
oh my god! Leave it on a jet plane.
You gotta love them. You've got to love
Don't
whoever's done
know
these
when
marketing stuff. Do you remember that PlayStation portable one that they had? Was it in the UK or was it in America? Where it was like super racist, where they had, which was for the like the PlayStation Portable White, and it was like, oh, it was shocking. Honestly, it was like this.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Do you know? Hang on, I'll see if I get a picture of it. It's shockingly like it's so badly like thought out. Like they didn't think it was wrong when they were like designing the pictures around. They didn't when they were taking the pictures and everything. It didn't last long. I think it lasted.
Which game was this?
No, it was for the PlayStation Portable system.
You know what? It's like in past gaming generations, there's been a lot of or not a lot of games, but there's been games with a lot of racist stuff in them, or just stuff that like in modern gaming just would not even get approved for pre-production. You know,
Here we go on screen for everyone.
Oh Jesus!
It's just
yes, I remember that.
Oh my god!
It's just so badly thought through.
Yeah, that's
They'll have a white woman grabbing a black woman by the throat, basically saying the white is better. Oh, it was so badly done. Bless them. They just didn't think it through.
Way bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
No.
Well, and you wonder who thought this up because you know, I want to think that that some executive in Japan thought this up because they don't understand because you know they've gotten caught in past weeks saying racist stuff, and it's kind of like they think before they speak before they think how people outside of Japan are going to perceive that. You know.
Well, there was a character in the obviously I know you've seen the film Ash, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yes.
Super Mario one. They had to change one of the characters' names to Spike because originally that character in Japan, his name's Blackie. How bad is that? They had to obviously. God, change his name because that is so racist. But the character's called Blackie, and it's a white guy.
Yeah,
That's so bad. I couldn't believe it when I'd seen it. I was like, what? Yeah, you can imagine them walking into doing all to Pixar, right? These are all the characters we want in the film, and they look, what's this character? Blackie. Who the hell's Blackie? You can't put that. Jesus.
They just don't think it through, do they? And translations and stuff don't help. So
no, it does not. It does not. Right, let's swiftly move on. These last two topics, they're both related, both Star Wars.
Wait. We're having 20 questions this week, right?
Yeah. I've got one.
So you're picking the game?
I am.
Oh my God. Okay, proceed.
Yeah. You don't want me on the guessing side.
Oh,
so
all right.
You should feel relieved.
That's right. So you don't ask did the game come out in 1993 or
No.
At
8 p.m. on a winter's day. Yeah.
Watched the podcast last week where BMG went in with a very specific sort of time frame question. Right?
Yeah. I know, and I was like, oh no.
On August the 1st, after 6 p.m. in 1905.
But to be fair, you could not blame me for when we did it on XBL last week because Sentinel, my dog's escaped. I've got to go and chase my dog.
Yeah,
I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So literally, I burned through like 12 questions and got
you know what?
Abandoned me.
I don't want to hear shit. I had to jump 2 fences barefoot, running outside, looking like a hillbilly. I don't want to hear anything. And my neighbors are just staring at me as I'm chasing this dog down my block, looking like a complete idiot. And then I'm like, "Hey, come here," and he's like, "Oh, hey," and oh my God, yeah. But no, go ahead, make fun of the situation. It's fine.
We will. It could be worse.
What?
You could have asked. if the third person game was a fighting game. Do you know what I mean? You could have wasted it after I told you not to ask the question. Do you know
I
what
was
mean?
I was panicking. I was sweating. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to think, and I was stuck. But Sentinel,
Could have asked, I
why were
guess, if
you
the game released before 2020. I guess
why were you jumping over fences? Was your dog clearing fences? I'm assuming these
No,
fences are like 20 foot high.
one of my neighbors has a fence on either side so he can grow plants and stuff. So I kind of ran through their flower bed, had mud all over my feet. It was pretty embarrassing. I didn't stick around though to explain the situation to him. I just because my dog went in there and he's messing around in one of their flower beds. I don't want him to start digging up their flower bed. So I jumped the fence and I come close to him and he takes off around the fence, goes to the next door neighbors. They also have flowers, but they have a flower bed on the other side, not by the fence where I had to jump over. So I only stepped through one person's flowers. So I'm sure he was wondering why there's barefoot marks in his flower bed. Probably thought the worst, but who knows?
Yeah, you can imagine he's literally sees all these footprints and damaged plants, and walks out his door and then sees you with mud all your feet walking down the street, thinking, "What the fuck have you been doing?"
it would not be the strangest thing that's happened on my block. That's for sure.
Oh wow! We'll save that conversation for another day.
Right.
Oh right, let's move on. Star Wars Jedi Survivor physical versions will reportedly require a download to play. Again, from Jordan Midler over at VGC. Physical copies of Star Wars Jedi Survivor will require a download to play. That's according to a post on the Star Wars Jedi Survivor subreddit, which appears to show physical copies of both Xbox and PlayStation versions of the game. This is perhaps unsurprising, following the news that the game digital version clocks in around 150 gig on console, which is far larger than a standard or even dual layer Blu-ray discs. The file size on the Xbox Series S is significantly less, only 44 gig, meaning that 100 gig of the game's file is likely taken up by 4K textures that only can be used on the PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC versions of the game. That's quite interesting, actually, because I think we all assumed that on the Series S as well, you was literally going to have to delete most things on the console to fit it on. But the fact that it's only 44 gig on the Series S, it's good news for Series S owners, but obviously everyone else, like us three that have all got PS5s and Series X's, 150 gig is still a lot of memory to take up. And this game is this gen only. It's not off the previous gen. You can't play it on your old consoles. You can only play it if you have one of the newer consoles. So, it'll be interesting to see how that affects sales. So that's quite good to hear about. The Series S is highly reduced. Are either of you surprised by this? Personally, buying physical games now is just, I just don't see the point in it anymore, because literally you're paying for a box and a disc, and usually a disc only holds a very small amount of data, because every game, no matter how long it's taken to come out, always has a day one patch, and you're always having to download something from the stores anyway. Is this just like sort of another nail in the coffin of physical media, and another reason why it should just pretty much go away now? Or should the games actually be fully printed on the discs? Or another way of looking at it is, do these developers do it purposely so you have to download a big portion of the game from the store so it can prevent you playing the game early? Ash, what do you think? Ash?
I think he had to run to the bathroom also.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, Sentinel, come to you. What do you think?
It could be that they don't want people to play these early. I mean, the best way to prevent people, if they get the disc early, from playing it is not have enough on the disc to be able to play it. That's one possibility, because we've seen sometimes in the past, people get the game early and they're playing it early, and of course they're uploading stuff on social media. But I kind of feel like it's bigger than that. It has to be just because it's easier for them to keep most of the information on the server, and they give you a small portion on the disk, so technically the game is on the disk, but in reality, most of it's on the server, you know?
Do you think do you think it's a way to push people to go digital and not be on physical?
I mean, you know what? If they push everyone to going digital, it's obviously going to hurt stores like GameStop. But I also feel people are going to push back because they're going to be like, now that you don't have to worry about printing these discs, now that you don't have to worry about physically manufacturing them, shipping them to stores, and the stores having these games, you know, in there, there's no reason for you to charge full price for these games because you're cutting out a lot of the costs associated with physical games. You know, and I feel like people would push for games to be $40 or $50 rather than $70 because they're like, now you don't have to pay for these costs, so you should drop the price accordingly. You know, I that's not really a big conversation yet, but digital only also isn't really a big conversation in the way it could be if they said, hey, you know what, we're just going to abandon it completely. Because the moment they announce that, you're going to have people that really aren't saying anything about this. They're going to take a stance on it. Either they support it or they oppose it. Yeah. And for those that oppose it, they're going to say, you know what, if you're going to go digital only, you need to give us these games for less because now you're eliminating a lot of the cost that you'd have to pay for physical.
Yeah. But also, it's like, I understand there's a lot of countries where internet's not that good and they get physical media. Yes. But it's like that argument now's kind of gone out the window because you still have to download a big portions of the game from the internet. Yeah. It kind of makes that pointless. And I know at one stage, like Microsoft, Sony, you know, they did everything on physical discs because they relied on, you know, GameStop, Game, and all these other, you know, mom and pop shops to sell consoles because that was the only way they could sell consoles. But now, especially this generation, everything's offered first through getting it through PlayStation Direct Store, getting it through the Microsoft Store, you know, Amazon, you know, places like that. That's kind of where the main thing is getting it from now. And yeah. I think we're going to see less and less in the coming years of physical media because it's a lot of money you have to spend to get these discs made. Plus the game shops that, you know, and independent retailers, they're taking a cut of every game as well. Whereas when it's digital, yeah, and first party, you know, talking mainly about it's all profit from every digital sale because it's just making a key instead of physical game. So I think it's just that again. You know, you want a physical disc, fine, but the majority of the game you have to download from the server regardless, as well as the day one patch as well. So it's, I personally think time we get to the next generation, we won't get a console with a disc drive at all. I think it will be, you know, I know PlayStation are sort of planning, you know, you can buy for the newer consoles, it's going to be digital only, but you can buy an external drive. And I think that is what we're going to see. Yeah, you have to buy a digital console. You want a physical game, you're going to have to pay that extra on top to get an external disk drive. But
there's more than just you know, video games that you're going to play on a console. Obviously movies, you know, and yes, you have streaming services, but a lot of people still go on Amazon and still pick up Blu-ray discs for cheap. And if you don't have a console, like let's say PlayStation has digital only and Xbox doesn't, and Xbox still has a disc, you know, a disc drive, you're going to have people that are saying, hey, you know what, I have a ton of Blu-ray discs, I want to be able to watch my movies, so I'm going to pick up the Xbox instead. You know, these companies also have to take that into consideration. Yes, the gaming portion is a major part of it, but for backwards compatible games where you can put the disc in and play it, that's also an important aspect of whether or not they should abandon it completely.
Yeah. I think the pandemic has kind of pushed like more of the digital side forward because we were at a point where for 2 years everywhere was shut. And the only way, if you wanted a new game or a game, you'd have to get it digitally. Movies, music, TV shows, everything had to be streamed or bought digitally. You couldn't get a physical copy. So I think it's kind of pushed more and more people in that direction. And people that...
and the problem with that though is look at these games that are digital only that you can't get anymore. Look at Forza Horizon 3. You can't buy that anymore digitally. The only way you can play that game is if you pick up a disc.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I can't deny that. But there's also a lot of games you can have a physical disc for, but it still won't work because all the servers are offline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
so
them.
There's that. Yeah, they're literally just a glorified paperweight because you can't use them at all. But
a good 50% of games nowadays, they are just keys. It's a token on a disc to open it up. Yeah. How many times do you buy a new game now, though, put it in your console day one, and you have to patch it for 20 minutes before you can even play it? So it's not...
Exactly.
The physical disc is useless. If it all went down, it's not going to work properly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, as well, you still got the, and it doesn't matter if people play the game on a subscription service or they buy a physical game, rather digitally or physically, you do not own that game. You lease a license until the owner of the game decide to pull it. I have arguments with a lot of people saying, well, I pay $70 for my game because I own it. It's like, no, you don't. You're paying $70 to lease it. Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, it's the same thing. You're leasing them games for a period of time until they're taken away.
The only thing you own is the plastic box and the disc and the cover. Yeah. That's what you own. And all you're doing is destroying the environment that little bit more, quicker. If we all went digital, the environment would be slightly better off.
But, all them squids, all them poor squids getting milked for the ink.
Milked for the ink to print out the cases. Yeah, disgusting.
Wow.
They're milking them squids. They're all on like a conveyor belt thing with suckers on their suckers and sucking out that ink. So, yeah, I could... Sorry, go on, mate.
No, I was just going to say, I feel the only thing that's stopping us from all digital is we need some better legislation and licensing. Why Quantum Break got delisted from Game Pass and Xbox because of licensing. It's now back.
It's back, baby.
What was the licensing and why is it? They should have for games, it should be an in perpetuity, you know what I mean, though? A lifetime license. This game is we're putting this song on this game, and while it's on this console, it's on this fucking game, and you can't pull it off after 2 years because you suddenly decide you don't want to. It's weird. It's because you never see a film getting delisted 2 years after it comes out because it had a song in it. It's just madness.
Rockstar Games runs into that shit all the time, and you know what? It's like the soundtrack for Grand Theft Auto 4. It's like half of it's gone now, replaced with new songs that are garbage, and it's like, are you serious?
Yeah, but why have they got the shit contracts? Could you imagine, though? Like I say, you watch a TV series, you watch Game of Thrones, it sounds great. 2 years later, you put it back in, it's got a different soundtrack. You'd be like, what's this shit? It's a load of bollocks. They need to just get better contracts. For some reason, the video game market gets shafted.
Well, you know what? And it's not even like Rockstar can't afford it. I mean, they just made $7 billion from Grand Theft Auto 5 since release. They can afford it.
Yeah. But there's obviously a license for forever. There must be. Films have got it. TV shows have got it. You never see them remaster a movie, bring it back out like the 4K Ultimate Edition and go, sorry guys, none of the songs are in. The background music's totally different because we couldn't afford it. You never hear that. It's a load of bollocks. Yeah. They have it's on this film forever. So video game companies need to do that. Unless they've just been getting these crappy contracts because it's so much cheaper. But even then, stop being greedy, you musical bastards. Do you know what I mean? How many people probably rushed out and bought CDs because of the soundtrack in Grand Theft Auto and Tony Hawk's and stuff like that? Guitar Hero. It's just
Yeah.
Again, it's just rich people fighting over being richer. That's what it comes down to. It's not the consumer. It's not us peasants. It's those billionaires that all want a bit more of that pie. So.
Oh yeah.
You know what though? It's like these music studios, these music labels. They need to see this as free advertising, because there's been at least 4 songs that I'd never heard of in my life, and I bought them because they were in a Grand Theft Auto game. You know, and then I started looking into the other music that these artists have produced, and I'm like, okay, well, let me buy music from them. You know, on iTunes, I'm buying CDs. It's like, it makes no sense because it's free advertising as long as it's there. So this limited run stuff is complete garbage.
Yeah. No, I do agree. I don't know about like you guys, but personally, it's very rare I go back to play an older game that I've already done. I usually, once I played it, that's it. Delete. It's done.
Says the guy who plays Destiny 6 days a week.
Yeah,
live service, baby.
Marvel Snap. Once you go Marvel, there is no rival.
That's new stuff constantly. There's always something new to do. Not like
wait. When did Marvel Snap come out? Like 3 years ago or something.
Yeah, but we're on new seasons. It's all new cars.
Oh my God.
New mechanics. It's changed. And what I mean is, I don't go back. Like, to be fair, I went back to play the original God of War for 2018, and I went back to play Jedi Fallen Order ready for the new one. But it's very rare I will go back and play older games I've already done. You know, I tend to, once I played them, that's it, they're done. I've already had that experience. I don't need it again. I am always after the next thing. There's that much new stuff, games coming out now. It's hard to carve that time to think, I want to go back and play that. But hang on, I've got another 6 new games coming out. So myself personally...
Wait. So you never go back and play great games again?
Not really, no.
Wait, so here...
Go on, Sentinel.
Well, my whole thing is, like, a lot of these PlayStation franchises are like single-player linear experiences, and the only way you're ever going to really experience greatness is if you play them over and over again. But here you are on a PlayStation podcast saying that you don't play games over again. You just like the live service stuff, and that, of course, Xbox is known for a lot of that stuff, and, oh my God, it feels like blasphemy.
Well, you see...
Go ahead.
So I'm technically playing a Sony game every day, baby.
No, it's still multi-platform. It's still
PlayStation owned. It is PlayStation owned IP.
It's actually Sony owned. It's not really PlayStation owned.
So, PlayStation is Sony. Without PlayStation, Sony would be gone.
They still sell TVs and stuff.
Yeah, but they don't do very well. It's all PlayStation based, baby.
BMG don't want a Saturn. No one wants a Saturn but you.
No.
Right.
Nobody wants anything to do with Sega.
No one wants the crappy pad and the crappy cardboard, horrible boxes that we got in the UK. We don't want them.
The best game that Sega have ever released is that novel where they killed Sonic. That's the only thing that Sega have ever done of anything useful is kill that blue bastard off.
Review on the channel, by the way, guys. Watch the video, hit like,
check it
subscribe. Yeah.
But it's like I played all the PlayStation games, and it's like I've had that experience. I'm after the next thing and the next thing, and I keep getting the next thing and the next thing. I'm not saying I never go back and play. I just say it's rare. I did go back and play Uncharted 4 because I love that series. Because Uncharted 4, remade it for PS5, gave it all the bells and whistles, and I really enjoyed it again. But I knew everything that was coming, nothing was surprising, and it didn't feel the same for when I played it the first time round. The first time round, it was all shocking, exciting. This time, it's just like, well, I knew everything that was coming, so I didn't enjoy it as much. Amazing game, loved the game, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the first time playing it round. Same as any game, whether it be Xbox, PlayStation. Once I've already had that experience, to go back and redo that experience, I just haven't got the same feelings I had the first time round. But that's just me personally.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I don't go back and play like sort of modern stuff. I won't literally. there's very few Xbox Series X and Xbox One games I'd probably go back and play. There's a couple of 360 games I'll play because I quite enjoy them, but very few. Like for me, I prefer to go back and play like PS1, Mega Drive, and like proper retro over. Like I would go and like out of all the Pokemon games, I would probably rather go and pick up Pokemon Red and Blue than play the new Pokemon game because it's just there's certain nostalgia for me for that sort of era.
Yeah,
Like, I get why people go back and play, but I'm not one of those ones that can play a game like the same game every year.
Yeah.
So like for me, like but I can always go. I could always pick up Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and play it, even if it's just for an hour or so. Do you know what I mean? I can go back and play loads of like odd games I absolutely love, but there's very few nowadays modern games. Whether it's just because they take so fucking long to finish, they're all like back in the day. You could get through pretty much every game in less than 10 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just love like my old school games. Like I said, I got my new PS5, didn't I? First game I played on it, Toy Story 2, because it's amazing and I love it.
On the PS Plus Premium.
Yeah.
Nice.
I downloaded other stuff. I played a bit of Tekken 2. Admittedly, I'd rather have Tekken 3.
My first game was God of War 3, so I completely get it.
Yeah, it's just like there's not that maybe for younger kids they have a massive nostalgia for like this gen, but I don't. There's nothing really massively in the last sort of 15 years I'd rush back and play. I mean, the one thing I do want to play, like I have played a couple of times, like Dead Rising, because you can have so much fun with it.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot, and like Vice City, I'll go back and play a few times every now and again, and
yeah.
But I just like to go on to the next thing and the next thing. I mean, I love retro, and I'd rather play retro, but
yeah,
just not a Saturn though because it's horrible. Sorry, Daz. Sorry, Pixel, but. I did have a Saturn. I had that, and I had that like space fireman game when I had my Saturn, and I regret selling it. I got good money for it, but I can't remember what it was called. But you're like a space fireman, which was always fun. But the Saturn's just like a poor man's PlayStation, isn't it? PS1. It doesn't have as good graphics. It doesn't have as good exclusives. It has a horrible, crappy plastic black pad.
No, Ash is really like. Ash is really like, we had he's like, I had a Sega Saturn in my house. We used it to prop our feet up on when we were on the toilet taking a poo.
That's what most Saturns are for now. It's true.
Oh,
it's true.
Jesus
There's a couple of good Saturn games, but the majority of them were better on other consoles. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah. Like if they remake a game and it's had significant changes, then I think I'd really like to go back. Like, I'm a big fan of the Metal Gear franchise. I went back to try and play Metal Gear Solid 1 because my wife bought me the PlayStation 1 Mini Classic, and it looked and played god awful. I gave up because it was just impossible.
Get good, you scrub.
I got that nostalgia feeling at first, and then it was just like, no, I can't play this.
I'm not saying I play them all like
4K
start
60
to finish, like every single time I play them, but like older games, you could jump on for half an hour and enjoy it. Whereas nowadays, you can't with modern games. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of these indie games that are great, I would never play some of the indie games I've played ever again. That they were good for like that one experience, but you move on to the next. And the big games, they're just so big nowadays. Like, I love them, but in 20 years' time, 30 years' time, I'm not going to be like, oh, I really want to play Hogwarts Legacy again. Probably not. Do you know what I mean?
And the majority of gamers out here that are really buying these games, we all have jobs.
Yeah.
We all have we have families, and we just don't have time for something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey that's 100 hours.
Yeah.
It's like we don't have time for it.
Like, I love Valhalla. I've put in 150 odd hours into Valhalla so far, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah.
Once I've finished it, when I finally finish it, I'll never play it again. Because I've got that 1000G and I've finished all the quests and stuff. I just don't want it. And I'm the opposite, BMG. I would rather the remake be or like a remaster be the same as it used to be, just look nicer. Like I prefer these like the Spyro and the Crash remasters and remakes where they were the exact same game pretty much. They played the same, but they were built for modern consoles and they look nicer and stuff. I don't care for them to be remade completely because then it's not the same game. Why remake it? Either remaster it and bring it up to like modern standards, but it's the same game, or make a new fucking game. Resi 4 remake. It's not the same game. So just make a new Resi game instead of. It's just to whore out nostalgia. That's the problem with it. Like I'd rush out and buy a Sonic Adventure 2 remake, like a remaster that was next gen. It had like up-to-date graphics. It fixed some of the bugs and stuff, but it was the same game. But if they remade it, I'd rather just made a new Sonic game.
So did you play Resident Evil 4 the remake?
No, not yet. No, because
have you played Resident Evil Village yet?
Yes, but not to the end. I'm about halfway through.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but I've actually beaten both, and I would much prefer to have a Resident Evil 4 remake than I would play Resident Evil Village. That's just my opinion.
Oh,
but
do you know what? I 100% agree. Village isn't that great. I'm not denying that Village is a worse game, and I'm not saying Resident Evil 4 remake's bad because I enjoyed the Resi 3 remake, and I kind of enjoyed the Resi 2 remake.
Yeah,
but I would rather just play Resi 2 and Resi 3 on the PS1 because they were better games, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Like Dino Crisis, I would kill to have a remastered, like a remade Dino Crisis, but it played the same.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I don't want it to be like, I don't want a different game. Then I'd rather you just made Dino Crisis 4 or whatever they're up to now. Do you know what I mean? That's just my perspective. I'm not saying the bad games, like Resi 4 remake has got great reviews. Resi 2 did as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me personally, I get a bigger kick off playing what I remember and using that like muscle memory and stuff, but it just actually not looking like it. I've got Vaseline smeared across my telly and having to fight with all the fucking AV cables and stuff, and having to fix the Saturn because it always breaks and stuff like that while you're playing. So it'd just be nice to have it on a system that works and it looks nice. It's in HD. I don't want to have to fucking dig out the big fat telly just to play a game on it. That's why I like those mini consoles because they're all HDMI. I love like the Atari collections and stuff like that because then I can play the games that I like on a nice looking system. I never get the retro people that like it has to be played exactly like it used to be. I need to have fucking a £600 like in weight telly that's only actually about 10-inch big because it's for some reason filled with bricks. And I've got to have all the consoles, controllers and everything and wires everywhere. And then I'm having to blow the cartridge and it still looks like shit and everything like that. I'd rather it just looked great, but it's the same game. But that's just my personal opinion. I want it to look the best.
Yeah.
But be the same game. End of rant.
That's fair. That's fair. You can step off your soapbox now, Ash.
Oh. Step off the Saturn I'm using as a footrest because it's crap.
Oh,
jeez.
You can.
Right,
a big fat TV, Lazarus. No one wants them. No one wants those big fat horrible tellies. We all want nice flat, sexy TVs, and we want to be able to play our games without them being stretched and horrible. That's all we want. I don't even care. They don't even have to make the resolution bigger. Just make it run in HD like they've done with those Disney Aladdin game collection and stuff like that. Oh God! And now Sentinel's leaving us just as we start 20 questions.
Oh, well, just before we start 20 questions, this is just more of a PSA. People have received copies early of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Just to be warned, there are spoilers out there on both like Facebook, Twitter, Reset Era, places like that. So just be careful. If you are planning on picking up the game and interested in the game, just make sure you block keywords and just be careful because there are people out spoiling it already. I know all the trophies have leaked. I've avoided up to now I've avoided most things. I've had a couple of things spoiled for me, which it's a shame because I like I've apart from the story trailer, the first one they showed, I've just gone like media blackout because I don't need to watch these previews and watch IGN play the game and stuff. I want to discover that all for myself. So yeah, this is more just a warning. Be careful. These people are assholes, spoiling it for other people because they've got nothing better else to do instead of jack off into a pickle jar with a pickle up their arsehole. So,
spoiler.
Wait. Where did that idea even come from? Never mind. I don't even want to know. Must be one of those Uncle Jimmy things. I don't know.
Oh dear. Right, okay, so that brings us to video game 20 questions. Just for anyone in chat that hasn't seen this before, at the end of every episode of PSN Party Podcast, we like to play video game 20 questions. The panel has 20 questions to figure out the game that I have written down. I can only answer yes or no. I can be a bit, help and be a bit vague on stuff on depending what they ask, because obviously we don't want to purposely steer them off a cliff. The final question has to be the guess of the game. At any point, obviously, they can guess the game. If they guess the game wrong, they lose. Panel, get ready, chat. Help these guys out. If you've got any questions to ask or any good ideas, let us know because we want to have everyone to interact. If you have any suggestions for 20 questions, you can DM me on our Discord. Links are in the description, website, and Twitter. Also, you can DM me directly on Twitter. My DMs are open if you have any suggestions. And maybe we can get a community game and we can play. So with that in mind, let the questioning begin.
Go on, ask the question. Say the line, Sentinel. Say the line.
Oh my god. I'll keep my questions intelligent rather than just wasting them, I think.
That's not a dig, is it?
Possibly. All right, so did this game come out before the PlayStation 2, original Xbox, and Nintendo GameCube generation?
No.
Okay.
What did you just ask? I wasn't paying attention at all there.
Basically, this game is going to be PlayStation 2, OG Xbox, Nintendo GameCube forward. It's not before that.
Right, okay. That's fine. Was it an exclusive game?
No.
No? Okay.
Okay. Was it made by an American publisher?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know any American publishers off the top of my head.
EA, Activision, Blizzard, Rockstar.
Yeah.
Well, Rockstar has an office in New York, but technically they're not American. They're what, Scottish?
Scottish, yeah.
There you go. Okay. So, yeah. Pretty much the worst companies in the business are American, unfortunately. Activision, Blizzard, Electronic Arts, I mean that's just how it is. Shit.
Right.
All right.
So it's like PS2 onwards.
Yeah.
It's not exclusive, and it's an American company. Is it part of a franchise?
Is it part of a franchise?
Is it?
Yeah, a series.
Series. Yeah.
Yes.
Is this franchise still active today?
Yes. That's 5.
And by active, I don't mean that it still belongs to them, but it's shelved. I mean, are they actually making games in this franchise? Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's why I assume you meant, yeah.
Is it a first-person shooter?
No.
Okay. So that means it's like third-person shooting or racing, probably.
I don't know. It could be out. It could be anything. You never know with BMG.
I know. Right?
As I always say, I would never pick a game that I didn't think anyone would know or not played.
We need to minimize the gen, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Was the game released on current generation consoles?
Was it released on current gen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like not through backwards compatible. It was actually released on this gen.
It was released on this gen.
Okay. All right.
Probably half the game backwards compatible.
But I just want to point out, though, you asked if it was released on this gen. You never asked if it was originally released on this gen.
But
so you don't end up
released this gen, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was released this generation, but you never asked if it was originally released on this generation.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I just want so you don't think.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want you to end up being misled.
Publisher, not FPS. It's available this generation. Probably been out on a previous generation, or he wouldn't have said that as well.
Yeah. Is it a racing game?
No.
Okay. So it's probably
Come on, chat, help these boys out.
It's probably going to be third-person action is what it's going to be. Probably.
Is it a third-person perspective racing game with fighting mechanics? That's fabulous. Not a real question.
Oh my God.
Was it released on the 1.2 Unreal Engine with minimal graphic? You know, Jesus Christ.
Is it an adventure game? Misuko says.
Yeah, you would class this as an adventure game. So yes.
Oh, do you know what? Oh no, that's an exclusive. Never mind. I thought something like could have been then.
Is it the first in the series?
Yes. That's 10.
Okay.
So it's the first in the series. It's an adventure game. It's not exclusive. But it's been released on this generation.
But not originally on this generation.
The fuck? Is it third person?
Is it third person? Yes.
Yeah. Right, so it's a third person adventure game.
Does it take place in the future?
Yes. Yeah, yes. Yes.
Oh, that doesn't inspire much confidence.
Well, it depends if you're asking, like, is it, like, the future as in Earth-wise or just future in general?
You know,
I would say yes. You would class this as the future. You would. You would class
Bioshock 2 doesn't happen in the future, right?
No. No. You would class. I would class this game as a game in the future. Yes.
Right. He's like, yeah, it's tomorrow, but tomorrow technically.
Well, the future could be tomorrow.
It's set in
2024. 10 minutes. Could be a minute from now.
Oh my God.
One chat. No, I don't think it's the Sherlock remake, because that's past, isn't it?
Yeah, that's in the 1900s.
I assume that came through before BMG said that. So it's a third-person game set in the future, an adventure game. It's not exclusive. It's on multiple. It's on this. It was released on this gen and also previous gen, which makes me think it could be like a re-release
or a remake or a remaster.
It can't be Resident Evil because they're not American; they're Japanese.
But what remakes have Electronic Arts put out?
Oh, well, there's one that's a horror adventure game, isn't there?
Yeah.
Is it a horror game?
No.
Oh, there you go. Cuts that out.
I was gonna say maybe try and narrow down the genre, maybe.
Third person adventure game. It's not exclusive, but it came out this generation.
And it takes place in the future.
It takes place in
It didn't come out this generation. You asked
No.
if it was released this generation.
So they've released a version of it this generation.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We may as well focus on that. I mean, I know it's probably come out prior, but
I'll give you one for free. It was a single-player game.
Of course it's a single-player game.
There's a lot of third-person adventure games that...
Yeah, but I didn't think you would throw us under the bus like that, so...
I wouldn't, but I just thought I'd give you that one as a freebie.
Okay. Is it set on Earth?
No.
Okay.
That's me baffled.
Is the game that you're thinking about a remake or a remaster of an original version?
No. That's 15.
So they've HD really.
I'll give you this last one for free, right? It's not a remaster or a remake, but it's been optimized for the current gen.
Well, but then it didn't release on the current gen. They just released an optimization patch.
No, because you had to buy this game again. You did get a free patch, but it was a release for the new consoles. So you would class it as a release.
That's interesting.
I'm trying to think third person action games that are set in the future. There can't be Assassin's Creed because that's the past.
And you said it takes place on Earth, so it's not in space.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not on Earth, so it takes place in space. That's right. Okay.
Or some foreign planet. And it's not an exclusive. So it can't be...
And they required you to pay for optimization. They didn't give it away for free.
No, I never said that.
Well, you said we had to rebuy it.
Yeah, people when they released the optimization, people that didn't own the game would have to buy it at a higher price. But if you already own the game, you got it for free. So I don't want to miss you go too far off the path with that one. Don't be cheated. No one.
No, I mean we're not. We're just
yeah.
I'm
we're
not
conversing. Looking in the private. Yeah, I'm not looking in the chat. So. Come on, panel. We've got 4 questions and a chat. They've got 4 questions and a guest left.
It is, but it was also made by Thingy, wasn't it? Which isn't Square anymore. It was,
yeah, well, at the time, but my whole question was the publisher. It was published by Square.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So shut up. Yeah, it's that's wrong.
I wouldn't do you like that. If let's just say if a publisher was owned by a Japanese studio, then bought by American, I wouldn't do you like that. I wouldn't.
There you go. Should we just do that question from Meisuko? That might narrow it down a little bit.
Sure, go ahead.
Does it have a female lead?
No.
That's it's a male lead. Oh no! I was gonna say it could have been Mass Effect, but that's got a female on it.
Well, that's either or, but it the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I mean, I guess but it's either male or female. It takes place in space. It's in the future, so I mean,
Well, it's not that obviously, or you wouldn't have said no. So
yeah,
it's a male-led third-person action game set not on Earth.
adventure allegedly.
Adventure, yeah.
I mean, I guess some people would consider, Outlast, where you're running for your life, to be adventure.
I don't want to guess it. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
It's on this generation.
Well, but not released originally on this generation. It was so by him saying the optimization, it's pretty much guaranteed it released last generation.
I would agree with that, yeah. Or at least a version of it was released last gen.
And it wasn't exclusive, so a lot of the big titles that had optimization for the PlayStation 5 would be out.
You could I've got a question you could always ask if you want me to tell you.
What's the answer?
But that's kind of cheating. I mean,
was it? Oh, okay, all right then. Fair enough.
Oh, I can't think of. My mind has gone blank of what third-person adventure games have come out that aren't set on Earth.
I'm thinking.
I'll give you a question to ask because obviously we'll end up being here all night otherwise. You could always ask if it was based on a license.
Yeah,
True.
but I mean that's up to you if you want to ask. I don't know.
Go on then. Is it based on an IP? I'll waste the fucking questions.
On a license.
Is it based
IP?
on a licensed IP? Yeah, like a film
Yes.
or a movie.
Yes.
That still doesn't really narrow it down much.
Ooh! Hang on.
I've helped you too much this time.
No, I don't think you have. I don't know who makes that, to be fair, though. He said it was the first in the series, though, so it can't be that. It's got to be the original.
Yeah.
I was thinking Batman, but Batman's set on Earth, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's not fucking us with different Earth fucking dimensions.
No, I would not do that to you. No,
you said
I wouldn't do
Earth.
that.
This is actually Earth 313. Not,
Well, and he said in space too. So
I didn't.
He
didn't
He
say
said
in
not on
space.
Earth.
You asked if it was based on Earth, and I said no.
It's got to be based on an IP as well, which narrows it down.
okay.
I think that could be a good guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Damn.
Don't think. What do you think? Is what I'm saying. How many questions? We've got 3 questions and a guess. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Can I waste a question?
No, sorry, you've got 2 questions.
Oh, maybe
2
I
questions
won't.
and
I
a
won't
guess.
waste a question then.
2 questions and a guess.
I feel like that could be a good one though. It's made by an American. I can't think of what else.
Yeah, I know I can't either. I'm thinking.
I could ask if it's set in that, if it's based in that world.
You could.
And we'd know for definite whether it was or not then.
Yeah.
Can't be Destiny, third person.
I know, it's like...
I literally can't think
difficult.
of anything else though. I don't think we're going to get it if we just don't go for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna... Yeah.
Shall I just ask him?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Is it set that is the IP something we've done a role play session or two on?
No.
No. That's not that then. I was hoping it was Shadow of Mordor, but it obviously wasn't.
Very difficult. Okay.
One guess and a question. One question. Yeah, one guess, and then you got to give me the game. Is this going to be end of the streak?
More than likely, yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
On Earth, that's the bit that baffles me.
Yeah.
Can't think of it. Oh, that's third person action. That isn't an exclusive. That's made by an American company. What's third person adventure? Not much help in chat tonight. You're all fucking useless.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
They're obviously loading at the speed of a Saturn, obviously, to catch up. So, all right.
Oh. Damn. Okay.
Come on, guys. We've got one question. We've got to go fucking full balls to the wall here because I haven't got a fudging clue.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'd like. Has I can't think of any other like American developers though. Like, what's EA made recently?
If you know what, if they're having an upgrade patch, that means it released 2 years prior to the current generation.
Yeah.
You know, and I own so many games from last generation. I should know this.
Would you like one more?
Do you know
clue?
what? Do you know what? I think it's gonna be. It's gonna be fucking Jedi Survivor 1 or whatever it was. IP,
Probably.
third person. It had an upgrade, I believe. Probably isn't, but it's not going to surprise me.
You know what though? It
Guardians
can't
was originally published by a Japanese company, though, Meisuko. I've already written that down earlier in the private chat.
It cannot be Jedi Fallen Order.
Why?
Because in Star Wars they tell you a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and Jedi Survivor takes place before that. So it's in the past. I know my Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. This is where it's just BMG get it wrong, then.
Yeah.
Nope. Right. Just when you say the future, just because somewhere says a galaxy far, far away a long time ago, that sort of series is still set in the future. If that doesn't give you the biggest fucking clue going, I don't know what does.
It isn't it?
No.
It is. It is.
Because we're on Earth, we're watching it, and it says long time ago in a galaxy far,
Yeah,
far
but
away. And
Still
before
set
that
in the
even
future.
starts. Oh, I see how this is. So
It's not. No, it's not. It's not. I'm just saying. Just because someone says a long time
you might
ago,
as well just you might as well have just said BioShock Infinite, and we just called it even. My God, BMG, I don't believe you.
It'll be that Star Wars. It'll be the first Star Wars one. That is.
Go on, let's bring it on, boys. Go for the guess. Go on.
Is
go
it
for the
that?
guess.
Is it that first Star Wars game that I can't remember the name of? But that
I
one,
need.
you know,
I need the name of it. You gotta tell me the name of the game.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes, it is Jedi Fallen Order. It's Star Wars. New Star Wars comes out this week, so I thought it'd be fun to pick a Star Wars game. And it is technically set in the future because they're using all futuristic stuff, flying through space and everything. Just because there's a galaxy far, far away a long time ago, it is still the future.
Maybe the future for like the beginning of the Old Republic.
No, but it's still set in the future. But
Okay, you don't get to pick games anymore. I'm sorry.
that was. No, you're trying to set it as if it's in the past, that before what you'd class as the future.
Why don't we ask the chat whether they consider that the future or the past?
Let's. All right then. We'll
I thought you'd pick Shadow of War though, and was like that made sense.
Right, chat. We are going to let you. You're the commission. The commissioner. Is Star Wars classed as set in the future? Remember, they use lightsabers, laser rifles, spaceships. Meet aliens. Is Star Wars set in the future?
Yeah, but is it in its own future, or is this its own past?
See, now you're just getting all bloody technical.
This
and
is
stuff.
the
It's set in
problem we've
future.
got with these games.
Right, Masuku says future game. Thank you. That will do. And that brings us to the end of the show. Good fun, good laugh. I hope everyone in chat's enjoyed it. Panel.
I demand a recount.
Even though we won.
I
think we only won because you argued it out with him, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, you got there more with a little bit of help, but you got there. The streak continues, and that's all that matters. Don't matter how you win, you won.
Will you two continue your streak tomorrow? That is the question.
Oh, we're playing tomorrow.
So what is it? Jedi Fallen Order it's an adventure game, but not a sci-fi game. Let me guess, right?
It's an action adventure, Metroidvania-like game.
Oh, but it's not sci-fi.
That's the official. On Wikipedia, the official description is action adventure Metroidvania like game.
Who the fuck is writing that Star Wars is a Metroidvania game?
I know.
No, Fallen Order. No, Fallen Order is based like your Dark Souls and stuff. If you die, or you replenish your health and stuff, or the enemies reappear. And you get better, so you can then go and kill them and get more experience points. So yeah, you take Souls like.
You know what? I'm going to have you tomorrow, BMG. I'm going like Sims 3, one of the random expansion packs.
Oh no!
You can't do that shit. That's not fair. You don't want to ruin the streak. We can't ruin the streak. We're doing well.
I want to be the one that breaks you.
Oh fucking hell! Last fucking Thursday broke me when Sentinel went barefoot through people's fucking gardens.
That was not my fault.
Yeah. You just wanted to see me suffer. That was all it was.
A little bit, yeah.
But that's the show, guys. Thank you very much, panel. Thank you very much, chat. I hope you enjoyed tonight. Again, if you have any suggestions or a game that you want to do, drop me a DM in the Discord or the Twitter, and we'll use a community one. In fact, that'd be fun. Get me a game. I'll grab all details and we will do that. Tomorrow night we have XBL Party Podcast. Redders isn't here this week, so our host is Ash. So look forward to that. And we are live at 8 p.m. BST. And we also have this Sunday, April 30th, is episode 1 of the Destiny Party Podcast. There'll be myself, Shadow Maul, and Mazadeus HD on the panel so far. So if you are interested in Destiny, or you just want a bit of something to do, a bit of a laugh, something to be in the background, check us out. Listen, go back YouTube. We've got plenty of content, plenty of past shows, and that'll do. That'll do tonight. Anything else, Ash, Sentinel, that I've missed or you want to talk about before we go?
Star Wars is set in the past.
Star Wars is not set in the past, because in the past they didn't have laser guns and spaceships and aliens and lightsabers and force.
Sure they did.
Yeah, they did. No, other than that, check us out tomorrow. We'll have the live show tomorrow at 8 p.m. BST. We've got more streams and reviews coming this week. And like I say, check the link in the description. All the streams I'm doing are sort of trying to help raise money for Safe in Our World, which is a mental health charity. As part of being an outright games ambassador, I'm sort of helping them to sort of hit their goals. So check that link out. Anything you can give is always great. And if not, share that link out on socials and to people that may be interested. Like I say, there's a video on there explaining everything that they do and stuff. It's a great charity. But than that, yeah, Star Wars is in the past.
Star Wars is not in the past, right? You go look at the past. There were dinosaurs.
It says in the beginning of the movie, Star Wars is in the past.
No, it's not. It's not in the past.
It is in the past.
Right. I'm going to see. I'm not going to do it now because it's time to let people go because we've been going for nearly 2.5 hours. I'm going to see if I can get the actual date of the show, what they class as the date. And if it's anything past 2023, you're wrong. You hear me? You're wrong.
Yes, in the past.
Everyone ignore Sentinel. Other than that, take care, guys. Good night, and make sure you join us tomorrow on the XBL Party Podcast, 8 p.m. BST. I forgot, just before we go, have we announced who we've got on tomorrow? Or is it just the three of us? I can't remember.
No idea. Sentinel's the...
Yeah, I
See
have
what
to
happens
look.
tomorrow.
I know, right? I have to look it up.
Yeah.
Sentinel's our human relations officer now.
Yes, definitely.
All the HR sort of stuff.
So tune in. Do we have a guest? Don't we? There's only one way to find out. Good night, everyone.